actually, that is one of the other reasons that people do quit, is they want a change. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Vicki Townsend, and I'm the founder and president of Divorce Right. And we provide training for HR professionals and company supervisors, and we provide divorce coaching and case management for your divorcing employees. And I want to introduce you to Paulette Rigo. She is a certified divorce coach, a certified divorce specialist, a certified mediator, and director of coaching and management here at Divorce Right. And together we tackle the biggest disruptor in your company, and that's divorce. And today we have another expert that provides relief for your divorcing employees and some solutions for some of the issues that come up through divorce. And today that is attrition. So please meet my friend and incredible HR professional, Bonnie Chao. Bonnie is the founder and president of CGC Group, a boutique consulting and staffing search firm founding in 2012. The mission of CGC Group is to deliver high-quality recruitment and consultant services as a true business partner to clients and their organizations. Prior to founding CGC Group, Ms. Chao held top leadership roles in global recruitment with 6 years at American Express. She launched her career within recruitment and strategic management practice. With over 20 years of experience in corporate and executive search, her areas of expertise include design and execution of global talent acquisition strategies and solutions, business transformation, strategy facilitation, leadership development, execution, executive coaching, operating RPO model, and organization design and diversity and inclusion. She is particularly passionate about unleashing the potential of employees to elevate their capabilities to make significant business impact. Welcome, Bonnie.
Well, thank you for having me.
That was a mouthful, but there was so much more that I could have added, and I'm sorry if we'll put your LinkedIn profile. Bonnie's your girl. I'm just telling everybody out there, if you need to find great employees for your firm, please consider reaching out to Bonnie, because she's absolutely amazing. She's been a friend for many, many years, and I know her integrity and her ability in this area.
Thank you.
So, let's get us started.
Yeah, your resume is just a powerhouse, and thank you so much for sharing your time. Your expertise is going to add a substantial value to employers, employees, HR professionals, and people going through divorce, because this is not an easy journey. I know firsthand. So we want to start off with, your expertise and what you should, and from the employee's point of view, what you should or should not share with your employer when you're going through a divorce. What is really important for them to share, and what is important to kind of not share?
So that really is a great question, because we want to be careful in the workplace. First of all, divorce affects work performance, and being able to communicate that to your leader is extremely important. And letting them know that you are currently going through a life change, which divorce is, and that it's going to affect you. And it's going to affect because you're going to need time off. You're also going to need some time maybe for delay in performance. You want to be careful what you do and do not share, but it is important to let them know that you're going through something. This is really one of those life changes where it is going to affect a lot of different things within your position. You want to be careful about not oversharing, because you don't want it to be that you're looking for excuses for work performance. You just want to stick to the fact that this is something that you're going through right now. Give expectations on time off, and give expectations maybe on moving deadlines if you need to for different things that you're involved in. So in that sense, it's very important to share that bit of information. And again, just careful with the oversharing.
So when you say oversharing, maybe we don't want to give too many details, but can you give us an idea of what oversharing, what that boundary might look like?
A lot of times, with such an event like this in the workplace, we're at work most of the time, even though we're all working in a different environment now, working remotely. We're still, we still have that colleague relationship or, that leader relationship. the part of oversharing is being too many details on, what are the things that you need to be taking care of. You want to be mindful and let your employer know the big events that are coming, if there are court dates, meetings with your attorney, those kind of things. But oversharing the details of what is involved in that will put a little bit of pressure on your leader to make sure, can you meet deadlines?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to still deliver for your job? Is work expectation something they should be concerned? So if you keep it to the details of, what's involved as you go through this process of divorce, keep the details to those court dates, to those meetings with attorneys, so that they have expectations, you have expectations, but it doesn't become a therapist session with your employees or your employer. It becomes more of making them aware, where you will need time off, or you will need the understanding of your colleagues or your leader that you may have to push some things back.
Perfect. Thank you for that. That clarity is huge. So as long as the employee is keeping it more to time, date, and event-based facts, they should be in good shape.
Absolutely.
As far as that's what to share, right? Right.
Yeah,
because like you said, sometimes the emotions just start coming, and there's a report there, and maybe they're like, "Ooh, is that too much information?" Or maybe I didn't give enough, and it's so emotional because it's new, and we don't rehearse these things. You don't like sit there and go, "Well, maybe I shouldn't." It's hard to know what is the border, what is too much, and what is not enough, because there's no previous experience with this. We don't have a roadmap about this is the things you should and should not share. We just, unless you've done it 5 times before and maybe you made some mistakes.
Right. And even then you still don't know. Even then you still aren't an expert at this.
Good to know. All right, so let's shift a little bit. What are some things that employees going through divorce leverage at their employers?
So when you're going through a divorce, it's a major life change. And it may be time to take a look at yourself and look at what different things you can look at your employer and say, okay, what can you offer me? Is there an ombudsman program? Is there an employee assistance that can be offered, especially during this time? That's more for that emotional support, for that work-life balance of going through something, as life-changing as divorce, and being able to have someone you can reach out to, provided, of course, assistance through your employer. The other thing you can do is maybe take a good look at yourself and think, okay, now that I'm going through this change, now that I maybe get a little bit more time to work on myself, what are the things that I may have put off before that I now want to focus on for myself? We're remote. A lot of us are still remote right now. Eventually, employers will be calling employees back to the office. And when that does happen, you'll have more of that, interaction. And that could involve bringing back to life different organizations on site. Maybe things that were taken off-site and taken virtual. And they could be Toastmasters. If you always had questions to yourself, or you questioned yourself on being able to be a stronger presenter, and you may be looking at a promotion, invest in yourself. Look at what the company can offer, that's out there. There are a lot of different professional organizations that are brought inside, and that chapters are created within companies to help employees develop those next skills that they need for their next role or a promotion, if that's what they're looking for. So now's a good time to take a look at what is offered to you, not only to help you from a focus standpoint, because again, you're so focused on what it could mean to this change, but what can you do for yourself, and what can the company offer you while you're going through this life event?
I can relate to that so many times. I see clients, particularly with ones that I'm mediating or coaching, where they they shift their thinking from this isn't what I wanted, but it's coming, and it becomes an eye-opening experience or an eye-opening shift of their awareness of this is the role I've had. And now that this is going to change, it leads to a little bit of a domino effect, of which means this might shift, this might shift, this might shift. Instead of it being a negative, it can be more seen as like, what can I do to up level? And to, as you said, maybe take advantages of things that I didn't see because, well, everything was just plugging along great, hunky-dory, right? My life was good, my marriage was good, everything's fine. And then something shifts and it's like, what are the offerings that I never took advantage of? Because I didn't think I needed them. What are the trainings that I didn't take advantage of because I didn't think I needed them? And it kind of opens your eyes to many different aspects of your life that you really weren't taking advantage of. Is that beneficial?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, the other thing is, executive and career coaching is also offered at different organizations. So if you've never taken advantage of that because you were in a good place, to your point, things were very status quo, but now there's a change and now you want to look at yourself and your self-development. There's that career coaching, there's that executive coaching, to look at what's the next step. A lot of times, when you're married, you look at not, maybe traveling as much. If divorce is a change and it's something that now you're willing to explore, taking on a role where there's more travel involved, take a look at what that looks like. Are there new positions coming up? Are there positions and opportunities that you would not have taken before, but now can, look at and explore those possibilities for yourself?
No, that's brilliant, particularly when you're in a family unit where you're with children all the time, and now that there's a little bit more of a separate co-parenting situation, you have a little bit more flexibility in your schedule to take advantage of, or at least be willing to entertain the idea of different options or travel, as you mentioned.
Right. And even from a financial standpoint, going through a divorce, you may be looking at that next opportunity, for more compensation. And that does involve looking at, different opportunities and maybe making yourself available to where you may not have considered that before in the past. And now it's something that you'd like to do. And again, it could be financially driven.
Good point.
Can I just interject there? It's interesting that we're talking about this and it's, all of the things that the person going through a divorce can do. What is an HR professional actually able to say to someone? I mean, and also I would love to have some of these ideas that we put down that you've talked about here today, to write some of these ideas for those that don't have those types of things available for their employees, that they should probably add them and make that during a conversation. You know what? I just want you to know that we have executive coaching available, or, all of these other programs you're talking about, because I think it's a great idea, but only if they've got them. So if they don't have them, they need to start getting programs like that in place. Because what we want to do, what we know is that 5% of them are going to go elsewhere. They are going to quit. So knowing this, I think that would improve attrition. Would you agree with that?
Oh no, Bonnie's frozen.
Did we lose Bonnie?
I think Bonnie's frozen.
Bonnie, you're frozen.
I think she is.
Let's see. Oh, hello, Bonnie. Can you?
Don't you love technology?
Oh, I don't. You know what? It is.
Well, let's continue. Vicki, and hopefully Bonnie will come back.
I'm just going to tell her to jump off and come back in.
Perfect. So, I think that.
I feel like these programs that she was just mentioning, if someone's going through divorce and they know that these are programs that are available, and now they have to look at them in a different way. They have to look at it. This is, maybe I wasn't thinking about a promotion, but now, because I need to be able to afford, I'm a single parent now, or I'm a single homeowner now.
Or alimony or moving expenses. I think when life is just plugging along and everything is kind of a well-oiled machine and things are going okay, we don't really take advantage of the offers that are there.
Right.
And all of a sudden there is that life crisis or that change. I can see many times where people might not want to rock the boat. The job's going great. The wife, the husband's doing great. The kids are doing great. Why would I possibly want to move? Why would I possibly want to up-level my career? Or, not to say that people aren't always open to new opportunities or making more money, but if it requires a new certification or more training or anything of that kind, you can see where it might definitely cause a lot of up-leveling in the family. So I can see that. Yeah. And I don't don't even know that those programs exist.
For HR people that don't have those types of things that can, again, this is a retention thing, right? This is about retaining those good employees that you don't want to lose. And, for those people that have not heard these statistics before, there are 3 reasons. There are a lot of reasons. Let me say that, but there's 3 major reasons that people quit after divorce. The first is they felt absolutely unsupported at their office. They felt like they were uncared for. Nobody gave a darn that they were going through divorce. As a matter of fact, they were told, leave your divorce at home. Don't bring that crap here. And that's impossible when you're dealing with losing your children or potentially losing your home. So that's number 1. So corporate culture, and that's something that we can change and work with. Oh, there's Bonnie. The second thing that we can change is, the second reason people quit is because they can't find affordable housing near their employer. So working with somebody like Stephen Rigo, who is a certified divorce lending professional and understands how a settlement statement needs to be written so that that employee can get more buying power, that changes the game. And then the third thing is they don't have childcare. So if you're an employer that doesn't offer childcare or has a childcare center near the office that they can work a deal with, those are the top 3 reasons that people quit. Hi, Bonnie. We're glad you're back. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that technical difficulty.
Okay. We were just talking about we've been talking about how important those programs you're talking about. If they don't think about offering these to those people that are going through a divorce because they are losing their financial, their financial assistance. They are now, instead of a 2-income family, they're now a 1-income family.
Right.
They still have to live in the area of their office, so they need to make more money. We can help them by connecting them to the right people to get them more buying power.
Right.
But these types of programs that you're talking about, I think are terrific for offering to those divorcing employees because God knows they need them the most.
And a lot of times what happens is those programs are available and they're usually, you have to check with your HR and when you're going through an event like divorce, it's a perfect time to reach out to HR and say, what special programs are out there for employees? Because a lot of times different companies will reach out to employers and offer special discounts, buying a car, refinancing a car. There's a lot of different programs that are out there, health and fitness, a lot of different things that are out there that sometimes employees, you're so busy in your day to day, it's not one of those things that you think of. But, when you're in need of a particular service or a particular product, that's a great time to reach out to HR and say, do we have any relationships or are there any special programs for employees from our company that I can, get a list or see where this is available. Usually it's an employee HR portal. So employees, they should be very proactive when these kind of events start happening and start looking at what that looks like.
Yeah, that's the thing. So HR professional here listening, get these. If you don't have benefits that can help you retain these people, because again, the statistic is 5% of divorcing employees quit. If you can make a dent in that with these types of programs, or not even if you haven't, but you just have to kind of reiterate to some people, just because somebody read it that there was this thing 8 months ago doesn't mean that they remember it and that it's top of mind for them. It's probably not top of mind because they're going through hell.
Right, exactly.
Right, they're in the middle of a what show, and they need your advice and your help and your support to say, hey, we have this executive coaching program. I think it's a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how amazing would that be? Talk about loyalty and retention. That's amazing. So Bonnie, last question for you. What advice as a professional who has placed all types of employees in professional and not, what is your advice around this topic?
So when someone is going through, it could be an event, divorce, a lot of different things. We go through, as professionals, we do career changes, and maybe it's time to do some, introspective, take a step back and take a look. I have this life change. Do I need to do the same thing with my career? Have I always wanted to do something different? Does that mean going back to school? And does that mean looking within my organization where I'm currently working and looking at a different department? So the best advice I can give anyone is if you have this major life change going on right now, would staying in your current position sustain you? If it does, and you're looking for that change and you want to take that chance to look for that promotion or a different role within your organization, it's hard enough that you're dealing with something so personal and emotional that you have to try and separate from work. But then you look at work and you're in this every day. Does it bring you that completeness to continue because you've had this life change? Or do you start looking at, I always wanted to do something different, or I always wanted to learn something different. So it's kind of going back to that first part of our conversation where you look at, are there other opportunities? And if you are happy in your role, then that's fantastic. You're already in a good place. You're in a job that you love. But if you're not, this might be the catalyst to make you look for something different.
Right. I think you're absolutely right. Because that is one of the other reasons that people do quit, is they want a change. And if you think about it, these people have been at the water cooler, mm-hmm. And in their cubicles talking about what's been going on in their life. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Bonnie, but divorce is contagious. So the last thing that you want is for them to be back at that water cooler with all of their friends and talking about how, life is just grand. And I got, $100,000 in mine. And everybody's going, wait, $100,000? I could do that. Well, if she got it, I can get it. Or he got it, I can get it. And and then it becomes this vicious cycle. So sometimes when they are looking for a change, which is one of the reasons that they quit, a change in HR can just be moving them to a different department where they don't know somebody else, where they're qualified for the role, obviously, but to give them an opportunity to get away from those people that they're kind of close with, that they can chat mm-hmm. it up. That's literally how it spreads. It spreads by, this is what I got. I'm on a date. Can you believe I'm dating all of these people? And all of a sudden this life sounds really good, mm-hmm. right? Because they have to go home and change the baby's diapers and mow the grass and all of that other stuff. And they're like, ugh. Mm-hmm. So having these benefits to help your employees to climb that ladder or change that ladder, making that an opportunity as an HR manager to make those recommendations, going through it, yep, for a change. You look at would you like to see something else? And you want to train for something else? I think that that's a great idea. Thank you so much, Bonnie. This was an awesome opportunity for us to learn a lot about from the inside what you saw.
Mhm.
I think that that was very valuable. Is there any story that you ever heard of and in when you were back in your American Express days that around divorce and how it impacted some of the team members around where you are?
So I don't, I don't, not necessarily stories, but there were kind of affirmations from people who said, I took on this new opportunity coming into the company because I moved, I went through a divorce, and decided to not only change where I lived but change my job. And they came in with a very eager perspective to take something new on and make it successful. So I said, in that sense, I do remember, if they came in with a life change, coming with just that very open mindedness. I want to learn. This is something new. I'm excited about this new part of my life that I'm starting, and this job coming into this new position is that new opportunity for me as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time and attention to this important matter.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonnie, why don't you tell them a little bit about you, how they can get in contact with you, and maybe your website?
Sure. So you can go onto our website, which is www.cgcgroup.us.com. And we are a full service staffing company, and we also do consulting. We are looking into starting career coaching. We haven't jumped off that platform yet, but it's in the works. But if there are employers out there that are looking for staffing, or there are employees who want to reach out and see what opportunities may be available to them, they can reach us through the website, send an email through our information portal, and we're happy to reach back out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And everybody, we will see you next week as we bring you information and experts like Bonnie that are in the trenches and work around divorcing employees all day, every day. So Bonnie, thank you so much for being with us. Paulette, thank you for being such a wonderful co-host. And I will see you next week, 1 p.m. Eastern time, all on all of our social media channels. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.